Alright, Appendix A, Part 179, proceed with the tank head puncture resistant. The test proceed with the design, verify the integrity of the new untied tried tank head with the puncture resistant system in the test with the system survivability after the coupler to tank of the head impact the relatively speed of 29 kilometers an hour, 18 miles an hour. Tank head puncture resistant is dysfunction one or more of the following with the head thickness of the jacket, thickness of the situation, thickness of the material construction. Tank head puncture resistant systems must be tested under the following condition. The ram car must be used weight at least of 263,000 pounds with equipped with a coupler with a duplicate with a condition with a conventional draft seal with including the draft yoke with the draft gear with the coupler must protrude from the end of the ram car so that it is leading in location from the perpendicular in contact with the impact of the tested car. The test car must be loaded with water and 6% of the outage of the internal pressure with at least 6.9 bar or 100 psi gauge with a coupled to one or more of the backup cars which have the total weight of 480,000 pounds with the handbrake supplied with the last for the backup car. At least two separate tires must be conducted with the coupler with the vertical center line with the ram car on test must be conducted with a coupler at the height of the 553.3 centimeters or plus or minus 2.5 centimeters above the top of the sill, and other tests must be conducted with a coupler height of 79 centimeters or 31 inches plus or minus 2.5 inches, 1 inch over the top of the sill, and combined with the thickness of the tank head and any additional shielding material is less than the combined thickness of the vertical center line of the car. And the third test must be conducted with a coupler positions as the strike with the thickness point with the tank head. 3. The elbow on the following conditions: minimum weight of the attached ram car the kilograms and pounds, minimum velocity of the impact of the miles per hour, and restrictions. 4. Test successfully there is not visible leak for the standing tank of the car at least 1 hour after impact. Appendix B, two-part and procedure for the stimulated peel, pull, and torching firing test. The test procedure is designed with the measure of the thermal effects of the newly untried thermal protection system. The test for system survivability exposed to a 100-minute pool fire with a 30-minute torch fire. Simulated pool fire test. The pool fire environment must be simulated in the following manner. The source of simulated with the pool fire must be hydrocarbon fuel with a flaming temperature of 1600 degrees Fahrenheit plus or minus 132 degrees Fahrenheit through the duration of the test. The square bare plate with the thermal properties equivalent to material construction of the tank car must be used with the plate with the dimension must not be less than 1 foot, 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot, nominal 1/16 of an inch thick. The bare plate must be instrumented with not less than 9 thermal couplers with the core with thermal response with the bare plate with the thermal couplers must be attached with the surface not exposed to simulated pool fire with must be divided into 9 equal squares with the thermal coupler placed in the center of the line each for the square. The pool fire simulator must be constructed in a manner with the result of the total flame engulfment with the front of the surface of the bare plate with the apex flame must be directed to the center of the plate. 4. The bare plate holder must be constructed with each of the such a manner that only heat of the transfer backside of the bare plate with the heat conduction through the plate and not other than heat paths. Before the bare plate was exposed with the simulated pool fire, none of the temperature reducing devices may indicate with the plate of the temperature excess of 3.78 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Fahrenheit, not less than 0 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Minimum of two thermal coupled devices must be used and indicated at 800 degrees Fahrenheit after 13 minutes plus or minus 1 minute of the simulated pool fire expansion. Pool fire exposure thermal protection system must be tested. The simulated with the pool fire environment described in paragraph 2A with the appendix of the following manner. Thermal protection system must be covered with one side of the bare plate described in paragraph 2A2. The appendix non-protected with the side of the bare plate must be instrumented not less than 9 thermal coupled placed in the described in paragraph 2A2 with the appendix to record thermal pressure response. 3. Before the exposure of the pool fire with the simulated with none of the thermal coupled with the thermal protection system configuration indicating the place temperature except for 3.78 degrees or 100 degrees Fahrenheit and not less than 32 degrees Fahrenheit. The entire surface of the thermal protection system must be exposed to the simulated pool of fire. Pool fire simulation must be run with a minimum of 100 minutes. Thermal protection system must retard with the heat of flow of the plate not less than thermocouple on protected side over the plate indicated with the plate with a temperature of 427 to 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Minimum of 3 consecutive successful simulation fire testing must be performed each of the thermal protection system. 3. Simulated torch fire test. The torch fire environment must be simulated with the following manner. The source of the simulated with the torch must be hydrocarbon fuel and flame temperature of the 1,204 degrees Celsius or 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit plus or minus 3.78 or 100 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the duration of the test. Furthermore, the torch velocities must be 40 miles an hour plus or minus 10 miles an hour throughout the duration of the test. A square bare plate with a thermal properties equivalent to the material construction of the tank car must be even the plate with the dimension must be less than at least 4 feet with a 4 feet nominal 1/16 of an inch, 1/16 centimeter for the thickness for the air plate must be instrumented not less than 9 thermocouplers to record the thermal response with the plate. The thermocouplers must be attached with the surface and not exposed to the simulated torch must be divided in 9 equal squares with the thermocouple plate from the center of each of the square of the 3. A bare plate holder must be constructed with each of the man with only the heat of the transfer backside of the plate and the heat conditioned through the plate of not other than the heat blast of the apex of the flame must be directed to the center of the plate. Before the exposure simulated torch known as the temperature, heated recording devices may indicate the plate of the temperature in excess of 100 degrees Fahrenheit or less than 32 degrees Fahrenheit. A minimum of 2 thermocouplers must be indicated at 800 degrees Fahrenheit for 4 minutes or minus 30 seconds torch simulation exposure. Thermal protection system must be tested with the simulated with the torch environmental must be described in paragraph 3A with the appendix of the following manner. Thermal protection system covers the one side of the bare plate indicated with the simulated with the torch fire in paragraph 3A2. Appendix 2. The bare back plate the back of the bare plate must be instrumented with not less than 9 thermocouple spaces described in paragraph 3A2 with appendix recorded with the thermal response of the material 3. Before exposure to the simulated torch, the none of the thermocouple, the backside of the thermal protection system configuration may be indicated with the plate temperature as in excess of 100 degrees Fahrenheit, not less than 32 degrees Fahrenheit. The entire outside of the surface of the thermal protection system must be exposed to the simulated torch environment, and the torch simulation test must be run minimum of the 30-minute. The thermal protection system must be retarded with the heat flow with the plate. None of the thermocoupler's backside of the bare plate indicated with the plate temperature in excess of 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Minimum of 2 consecutive successful torch simulation tests must be performed in each of the thermal protection system. And that completes the appendix for the Title 49, Volume 3, Part 179, tanker cars.